Dana, thank you. Now we move to Augusta, where the push to reduce automotive pollution in Maine suffered a big setback.
Today, Maine's Board of Environmental Protection voted to reject a California-like mandate on the sale of electric vehicles.
Had it passed, it would have required that 51% of vehicles sold in Maine in 2028 be an EV or hybrid. And that number would have jumped to 82% by the year 2032. So why did the board have a problem with it?
News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour is in Augusta with more. Hi, Caroline.
Hey, Brian and Amanda. Yeah, after a lot of hesitation and unanswered questions, board members decided to hit the brakes on the program that would have brought more electric vehicles here to Maine.
Opposed.
Despite their goal to cut down on emissions in Maine, state environmental regulators voted down a mandate that would have pushed most gas-powered cars out of new car sales to make room for more electric vehicles.
It becomes a little bit like Henry Ford in his Model T. You can get it in any color you like as long as it is black.
Similar to rules adopted by the state of California, the Advanced Clean Cars 2 program, if adopted, would require 82% of cars being sold by dealerships in Maine to be fully electric by 2032.
I recognize that many people feel passionately about this subject and hold strong opinions. We all know that.
After receiving more than 2,800 public comments on the proposal, members of the Board of Environmental Protection debated points of concern before a final vote.
If you want something different, you can buy something different. There's not going to be as much available to you because 50% or 80% is going to be electric.
But some on the board have questioned how that would be enforced, especially with manufacturers like Tesla that only sell direct to consumers.
So it seems like a lot of the change we're expecting doesn't actually happen or isn't forced by this rule.
Members also questioned whether limiting the type of vehicles available in Maine would actually sway consumers to EVs.
Dealers currently have an average 90-day inventory on their lots, not because of demand, but due to overstock created by people not buying them.
The proposal has received significant pushback recently from some drivers and state lawmakers who have brought up concerns including EV range and whether the state's electrical grid can keep up with the increased demand.
Well, we know that vehicle manufacturers are going to serve the markets with these high standards first.
But despite the concerns, agencies like the Natural Resources Council of Maine say the program would have propelled Maine as a leader in lowering emissions.
These are really critical climate and consumer choice standards for Maine, and we want to make sure that Maine isn't left behind in this transition.
Now, Brian and Amanda, we should note that today's vote to not mandate electric vehicle sales here in Maine comes on the same day that the Biden administration announced stricter emission limits for new car sales in the hopes that it'll encourage more to go electric when hitting the road.
Caroline LaCour live for us in Augusta. Thank you, Caroline.